A man can make what he wants of himself if he truly believes that he must be ready for hard work and many heartbreaks. We can always stick together when we are losing, but tend to find means of breaking up when we're winning. In Grace Under Pressure. I'm the world's original gradualist. I just think 90-odd years is gradual enough. Truth is more than a mental exercise. The process of democracy is one of change. Our laws are not frozen into immutable form, they are constantly in the process of revision in response to the needs of a changing society. You do what you think is right and let the law catch up. Certain people have a way of saying things that shake us at the core. When the prison gates slam behind an inmate, he does not lose his human quality, his mind does not become closed to ideas, his intellect does not cease to feed on a free and open interchange of opinions. His yearning for self-respect does not end, nor is his quest for self-realization concluded. Each of you, as an individual, must pick your own goals. Listen to others, but do not become a blind follower. What each of us must come to realize is that our intent always comes through. We got here because somebody, a parent, a teacher, an Ivy League crony or a few nuns, bent down and helped us pick up our boots. I never worked hard until I got to the Howard Law School and met Charlie Houston. I saw this man's dedication, his. My father had a flat rule. He believed that every man's house was his castle. He had a flat rule, no man could come in his house without his permission. If the First Amendment means anything, it means that a state has no business telling a man, sitting alone in his house, what books he may read or what films he may watch. I wish I could say that racism and prejudice were only distant memories. We must dissent from the indifference. We must dissent from the apathy. We must dissent from the fear, the hatred and the mistrust. We must dissent because America can do better, because America has no choice but to do better. The measure of a country's greatness is its ability to retain compassion in times of crisis. Our whole constitutional heritage rebels at the thought of giving government the power to control men's minds. Racism separates, but it never liberates. Hatred generates fear, and fear once given a foothold, binds, consumes and imprisons. Nothing is gained from prejudice. No one benefits from racism. Lawlessness is lawlessness. Anarchy is anarchy is anarchy. Neither race nor color nor frustration is an excuse for either lawlessness or anarchy. We deal here with the right of all of our children, whatever their race, to an equal start in life and to an equal opportunity to reach their full potential as citizens. The United States has been called the melting pot of the world. But it seems to me that the colored man either missed getting into the pot or he got melted down. Ending racial discrimination in jury selection can be accomplished only by eliminating peremptory challenges entirely. A child born to a black mother in a state like Mississippi has exactly the same rights as a white baby born to the wealthiest person in the United States. It's not true, but I challenge anyone to say it is not a goal worth working for. When you hear a lot of stories about Africa, and you get to a place like Kenya and other countries like that, where they think the same way we do, I was happy too. find that the schedule of rights that I drew for the Kenyan government was working very well. Those children who have been denied that right in the past deserve better than to see fences thrown up to deny them that right in the future. Where you see wrong or inequality or injustice, speak out, because this is your country. This is your democracy. Make it. Protect it. Pass it on. The Ku Klux Klan never dies. They just stop wearing sheets because sheets cost too much. Sometimes history takes things into its own hands. The death penalty is no more effective a deterrent than life imprisonment. It is also evident that the burden of capital punishment falls upon the poor, the ignorant and the underprivileged members of society. As soon as I reach any town, I talk to the shoeshine boys or the barbers or the people in the restaurants, because it's Mr. Joe Dokes who is very close to reality. We must dissent from a government that has left its young without jobs, education or hope. We must dissent from the poverty of vision and the absence of moral leadership. We must dissent because America can do better, because America has no choice but to do better. To the contrary, the government they devised was defective from the start, requiring several amendments, a civil war and momentous social transformation to attain the system of constitutional government, and its respect for the individual freedoms and human rights, we hold as fundamental today. History teaches that grave threats to liberty often come in times of urgency, when constitutional rights seem too extravagant to endure. It is important that the strongest pressures against the continuation of segregation, North or South, be continually and constantly manifested. Probably, as much as anything else, this is the key in the elimination of discrimination in the United States. Mere access to the courthouse doors does not by itself assure a proper functioning of the adversary process. Deciding not to decide is, of course, among the most important things done by the Supreme Court. Surely the fact that a uniformed police officer is wearing his hair below his collar will make him no less identifiable as a policeman. We will only attain freedom if we learn to appreciate what is different and muster the courage to discover what is fundamentally the same. Equal means getting the same thing, at the same time and in the same place. Today's Constitution is a realistic document of freedom only because of several corrective amendments. Those amendments speak to a sense of decency and fairness that I and other blacks cherish. What is the quality of your intent? Certain people have a way of saying things that shake us at the core. Even when the words do not seem harsh or offensive, the impact is shattering. What we could be experiencing is the intent behind the words. Even when the words do not seem harsh or offensive, the impact is shattering. Classifications and distinctions based on race or color have no moral or legal validity in our society. They are contrary to our Constitution and laws. America's diversity offers so much richness and opportunity. Take a chance, won't you? Knock down the fences, which divide. Tear apart the walls that imprison. You. Reach out. Freedom lies just on the other side. We shall have liberty for all. When you are being challenged by a great human being, you know that you can't ship out. This is a great country, but fortunately for you, it is not perfect. There is much to be done to bring about complete equality. Remove hunger. Bring reality closer to theory and democratic principles. Nothing can be more notorious than the calumnies and invectives with which the wisest measures and most virtuous characters of the United States have been pursued and traduced. We must dissent from the fear. In recognizing the humanity of our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute. I have a lifetime appointment and I intend to serve it. I expect to die at 110, shot by a jealous husband.